Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Now, you all know that I've been going down a rabbit hole with these revolvers lately. One just wasn't enough. You get one platform, you get another platform, and then you go to the other extreme and you get an absolute hand cannon that is the Smith & Wesson Trust Me 629. But, you know, when I'm not printing stupid things to put on the cat's head... Okay. It fits it perfectly. I'm designing stuff, so I never really have spare time. Any spare time that I get, I spend measuring, CADing stuff up, trying stuff, testing, you know, developing. But while I was on this warpath with revolvers, which I don't know where it came from, but I think it's wanting to have something a little bit different compared to the norm. I started looking to these revolvers, as you guys know. Started with the Rhinos, moved on to the Dan Wesson 715s, and then I picked up one of these Umarex 629s just because I was interested in the differences between the three, especially when all these guns came from the same manufacturer but are offered by different distributors. You've got BO Manufacture, you've got ASG, and you've got Umarex. So after doing all the purchases that I had done, you know, I wanted to get these things skirmishable, and you guys know the route I've been down trying to get moon clips and shells, and it's an expensive endeavour, and they sell you the shells and then they sell you the moon clips, and the moon clips don't fit the shells because no one's took the time to question if this stuff actually works with each other. So I took a bit of inspiration of things that I found online and I got designing. Now, one of the key important features that these things should have: number one, they should be fairly cheap. Number two, they should make it easier and quicker to reload, less fumbly. And number three, it should make the revolvers shoot at or about 1 joule. Now I say at or about 1 joule because no matter how you set these things up, they're not the most consistent compared to conventional gas blowback pistols. You can have the exact same shell running in the Umarex, for instance. I think this is probably one of the most inconsistent out of the three. And you can set the shells to run at a joule, and then every now and again you'll get one that creeps up a little bit and you'll get one that creeps down a little bit, even though it's the exact same shell. It's just to do with the consistency of the revolver. But, you know, 1 joule compared to 2.5, 3 joules is much better, and it'll enable you to use these in your games and have some fun. So we start with the Rhino. These use a variation of the shells that are very much like the Dan Wessons. They have a little C on the back. I've been through this before. And you've seen this in my other video where I say let's make revolvers skirmishable, and produced this one. So this is the Chiappa little magazine clip, whatever you want to call it. Holds 6 rounds. You push it in the revolver, close it up, shoot 6 times, eject the cylinder, magazine, you know, chamber, whatever you revolver nuts want to call it. You can extract it as one. It's harder to lose. Obviously, you won't be wanting these in this colour, but yeah, easy peasy. I did come across some versions of that for the Dan Wesson, but what I found is they were quite inconsistent, and just a couple of features on them that, you know, weren't all there. So I took my CAD file, because they're the same as the Chiappas. I took the file I'd CAD'd up for the Chiappa and basically measured up the cylinder, made it in a very similar way, just a little bit different, and this is what I have here. And again, goes in nice and simple, clips into the revolver, shoot it 6 times. The Dan Wessons annoyingly have the release at the front here. You can extract that and pop in your next one. Very good indeed. And once I'd done those, I picked up the Umarex Smith & Wesson already. These have an extremely large chamber for the shells. They're a 6mm through hole because they load the shells, the BBs, in from the back instead of the front. So I loaded up CAD again. Couldn't use the files that I'd used from the Chiappa to sort of cross over with the Dan Wesson. So I had to start from scratch again and design this shell in Fusion. Basically just making it from scratch, getting, you know, not only the Fusion files but the step files, everything like that, so I can make adjustments which you can't always do with 3D printed files. So modelled this up from scratch, changed it from loading from the back to the front, because then we can control the throughput of the CO2. And there we go. Now I have heard reports of people using Dan Wesson shells in the 629s, but what you'll see here, not only do they rattle about like so, they can actually get caught up behind the extractor and get stuck in the revolver. So where was this from? Probably there. Did it say Dan Wesson? Yes, it does. So designed the file for this, started using the 3D print files, no, sorry, the 3D printed shells that I'd made for this revolver, getting them just ever so slightly adjusted, getting the power right to get it as close to 1 joule as you can get with how inconsistent these revolvers are. And then today I took that to the next level on the same ethos of these two and produced this for the Umarex M29 629. Works very much the same way. Pop it in the back there, shoot 6 shots, eject it, pop another one in. Now, I know there's going to be many of you out there going, well, you know, surely you could just take one and put it in the other. And I'm going to show you the differences here. So Chiappa Rhino, the Dan Wessons are very much, the shells are very much close together, so I had to change that. And this was the first one that I did because the Chiappa Rhinos were the first revolvers I had. So you've got the one for the Chiappa Rhino. Obviously going over to Dan Wesson, when I picked that up, that wouldn't work. So I did find a file which you've just seen, the grey one, which had the numbers down here. What I did find is whoever had done that, they'd modelled up the shells a little bit incorrectly compared to what the standard shells are. So I thought, if you're going to do it, and the other thing, they were really hard to push the BBs in, so I just redid the old file for the Chiappas, spaced them out correctly to the cylinder, and there you go. It fits in absolutely lovely. So there we have our Dan Wesson 715 type. Coming over to the Umarex, again, the Dan Wesson's not going to go in because it's very tight together. Chiappa's spaced a little bit further apart. It will just about start to go in there, but you're stuck on the beveled edges of the front of the shells. So again, starting from the ground up, went to the much bigger design. And you can see the difference in the spacing here. It's very much a lot bigger. So that's the journey I've been on. I went down this rabbit hole of designing stuff. Now, I've decided to make this something that's going to be available on the Jaeger Precision website. Here I have a finished version. This one I think is for the Chiappa. Now, the camera for some reason is like dulling this colour down quite a bit. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure what it comes on camera, but this is literally like a luminous green. I'm not sure if it's the lighting in here. I'm not sure if it's the camera settings, but this is bright green in person. And the beauty about this is, you pop it in, shoot your rounds off, you eject it, and it's very high vis, very easy to see, even though the camera's not making it so. So you can see that's a normal green, and that's the difference. So I'm not sure what's going on with the phone here. So these will be available in what I call Ecto Green. There's also, I've called it Safety Orange, which is a bright orange colour, and then Blood Red, which is a bright red colour as well. I think that's a very good way to do it. Just so, especially, you know, ejecting them, if you drop one on the floor, especially the orange and the red ones are going to stick out like a sore thumb, and you're able to find them really easy. Now, I did upload these to the website before making this video, and the Safety Orange and Blood Red versions of, I haven't got around to doing them for the 715 and the Umarex yet, but the red and orange versions for the Chiappa just flew out. So there's only green available for all three at the moment, until I can get some more some more materials to produce them. But you can see they work really well. And if you're running a revolver, I think this is the best. I'm slowing my words now. I bit my lip earlier and I've got a massive lump, so I'm struggling to talk clearly. I think this is going to be the best way to run these, and just to show you, let's show you them working, because someone's like, we didn't show them working. Let's get rid of the bright green one and swap it out for this one. And it's as easy as filling them like this. Just one BB in each one. I think this one for the Chiappa is the first prototype I did before I opened it up a little bit. So you put your 6 rounds in and you just push them down, click them till they're flush. Dan Wesson. If you want to make it a little bit easier on yourselves and not to fumble the speed loader, because they like to jump about, just push them in the top there. I kind of thought that was going to happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. What I might do as well is I might model up a loader. So maybe something that you just pop 6 rounds in and you can just like a punch to press the rounds in. And the Umarex one, he's sitting a little bit better. Push them in like that and they click into place, they hold, they're not going to go anywhere. The old Chiappa, shove it in, 6 rounds, there we go. Down Western, my ears are going to be ringing at the end of this. They sound so different. These have got such like a bouncy, twangy noise. I do like the noise of the Chiappas over the Westerns, but here we have the 629. That's probably the loudest of the 3. And there we go. So these are the new Jaeger Precision Easi-Shells, much like the Easy Loaders, play on words there. They're available on their website right now, currently only available in Ecto Green colour. And take my word for it, this is luminous green. It's just, again, not coming through on the camera. And very soon we'll have them, I'll have them back on there in the safety orange and the blood red. For those of you that don't want them brightly coloured, I've got another couple of colours coming in different materials. Maybe someone I wanted had an idea of making them translucent, so I'm going to have a play with that as well. Again, I'm not forcing you guys to go and buy my stuff. I just think this is a really cool idea. This is the way I'm going to be running my revolvers, and I won't have to fumble about with the shells anymore. So let me know in the comments what you think about this stuff. Always great to hear feedback from you guys. I'm not going to be as arrogant to say I always get it right, because I don't. But I think, you know, for the amount of time it takes to actually print these, I know there's going to be loads of people go, well, just send me the file. No, I'm definitely not going to do that. The amount of time it takes to print these, you just recover your costs, put a little bit on top. Obviously, the printer needs paying for. And yeah, if you do want to pick some of these up for your revolver, I hugely appreciate it. It's probably the best way to support the channel as well, because doing gun-related content, you get demonetized on pretty much every video you send up there. YouTube really doesn't like it. So if you want to pick up some cool products for your revolvers in the meantime, you know, absolutely massive thank you from me. So we're going to get rid of this boring video now, because many of you don't like revolvers and you'll be telling me to shut up and go back to MWS stuff. So as always, from me and Bench, we'll see you in the next video.